last video, I explained how Batman Begins did a perfect job of developing Bruce Wayne as a hero. I explained how flawless his transition was from a morally confused, broken man to a strong-willed, masked vigilante known as the Batman. That was dramatic. I also explained that Bruce's character development was strong enough that it left plenty of room for the script to breathe and go into a new direction by the sequel, known as, of course, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is perceived by many to be the best superhero film ever created, and there are many, many reasons for this. Hans Zimmer's score is better than ever, the character development is off the charts, the practical effects and CGI are improved from Batman Begins, the script is well written, Batman's suit looks cooler even though his voice is more annoying, the cinematography is stunning, and the list goes on. It's a brilliant superhero film. But there's one element of The Dark Knight that stands out for most people, including myself. And that element is a character in this film whose performance blew everyone away, portrayed by an actor who put his all into that role. And I'm talking, of course, about Aaron Eckhart's portrayal of Harvey Dent. No, I'm joking.
Shut up!
I mean, Aaron Eckhart was fine, but no. I'm, of course, talking about Heath Ledger's Joker.
Come on, I want you to do it, I want you to do it. Come on! Come on, I want you to do it, I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me! Hit me!
I still remember my 13-year-old self sitting in the movie theater, chubbier than ever with a popcorn and a big icy, just entranced watching this film. I really don't remember my eyes leaving the screen for a second, and it's really because of Heath Ledger's Joker. He blew my 8th grade mind away. I've never seen such a performance on screen before. His voice, his mechanics, his notorious laugh, the way he delivered his quotable lines and stories, even his facial expressions, he was terrifying. I had absolutely no idea what he was up to or where he was going next. It was amazing. I never wanted the film to end because of Heath Ledger's Joker. It's important to note that part of what makes his Joker so perfect for the Dark Knight trilogy is definitely his relationship with Batman. I mean, don't get me wrong, if Heath Ledger in the past had an opportunity to do a standalone Joker film like Joaquin Phoenix did, it would be amazing, because Heath Ledger clearly knew how to work this character. But the point I'm trying to make is that the writing for this specific version of the Joker works so well against this version of Bruce Wayne. To further explain this, let me quickly revisit a point that I made in my Batman Begins video. Bruce Wayne is morally confused at the beginning of Batman Begins. He doesn't know the difference between justice and revenge. He doesn't understand when and when not to use a gun to do the right thing. It was an absolute struggle for Bruce to develop his morals. And in the scene when he tosses his gun into the water, this is a huge moment for him and in the film. He makes a vow to himself never to kill, to never touch a gun again. As Batman, he can only use anger to intimidate, but never to kill. It took time, patience, and effort for Bruce to come to this conclusion in Batman Begins. And that being the case, who is the best type of character to test Bruce's limits on the morals he developed in Batman Begins? Who is the perfect character in The Dark Knight to really make Bruce prove that he means his morals? To make Bruce question whether or not he needs to break them? A madman, a psychopath, a man that, as Alfred explains to Bruce, has no agenda other than to watch the world burn. And that's, of course, the Joker. The Joker would not have worked nearly as well in Batman Begins as he does in The Dark Knight. He works better against this already well-established Bruce Wayne, who has these morals developed. With that in mind, watching the dynamic between these two is perfect for this very reason. Because remember what I said, Batman uses anger to intimidate, but never to kill. And does that work against the Joker? Absolutely not. For every punch that Batman throws, for every scream he shouts, the Joker just laughs harder. It's damaging to Bruce. He doesn't have any idea how to deal with someone like this, even up to the film's end. He didn't crack the Joker. The techniques he acquired in Batman Begins do not frighten the Joker. They don't intimidate him. How can you fight against someone who is your extreme polar opposite, who has no morals, who does not take anything seriously, who comes up with master plans to harm society as opposed to fixing it? What can Bruce do? Nothing. His only option is to kill the Joker, but again, Bruce can't do that. The writing is what makes this Joker so brilliant. But when you have an actor such as Heath Ledger who took this role this seriously, it makes for an incredible film. And I also don't think Christian Bale gets enough credit for his performance in The Dark Knight. Because the way these two work off each other, especially in the interrogation scene, is genuinely amazing. And it's this dynamic that, again, makes the Joker so perfect. So to answer the question of how do you develop a villain, well, There's many ways to go about it, but what The Dark Knight shows us is that you take a hero and you establish them. You build them up. You watch what makes them tick and what makes them rise. And from there, you create your villain by simply reversing your hero's characteristics completely. You make them polar opposites, but equally strong-willed. And what's the next step? Well, you find an actor such as Heath Ledger to portray them. Unfortunately, that's the part that's impossible to recreate, because Heath Ledger was the unexpectedly shocking surprise that turned The Dark Knight into the masterpiece that it still is today. Thanks for watching this video, guys.
Look at me. So I had a wife, beautiful, like you, who tells me I worry too much, who tells me I ought to smile more, who gambles and gets in deep with the sharks of me. One day they carve her face. We have no money for surgeries. She can't take it. I just want to see her smile again. I just want her to know that I don't care about the scars. So, I stick a razor in my mouth and do this to myself. And you know what? She can't stand the sight of me. She leaves. Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. And that's the rule you'll have to break to know the truth.
Which is?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. But tonight, you're gonna break your one rule. Come on. Come on. I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Come on! Oh, I am. I'm only burning my half. All you care about is money. This town deserves a better class of criminal. I'm gonna give it to you.
What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you